Hello? Hello? Hey. Hello, everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and tonight on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're making tacos. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited. Yeah. And this is also technically my first gorilla because, I mean, I kind of sort of announced it a little bit earlier, but I didn't put it in the schedule or anything, so. And that's also kind of one of the reasons why we're making tacos is because tomorrow we're going to be doing pizza, and for the pizza, it is going to be a little bit more complicated. And by that, I'll be making the dough from scratch. And that's going to take some work. So I wanted something simple, straightforward, so we're making tacos. So I need to grab, well, that's one of my knives. I have one knife. I need multiple knives. I need multiple things. But I hope everyone out there is having a good day. That fun stuff, actually. Those, they can go there for now. Now I got a cutting board, because we're going to actually go ahead. We're going to start with getting the veg prepped. Yeah. Also, some people who may have been around here a few times, may have noticed that I've actually already got the fire started. That's because I actually got I used the fire pit last night, and I had some coals left over, so I went ahead and got the fire going. And that gave me one less thing to do while I'm live. So yeah. So first off, we're gonna cut up some tomatoes we're putting 5 ingredients into our tacos. 5 ingredients. They're gonna be beef with beans, lettuce, tomatoes, onion, peppers, and cheese. That's 6, I think. I'm not keeping track. Sorry. But yeah. Go ahead and start cutting these up. And these are actually tomatoes that came out of my garden today, which I am currently in USDA Zone 7, which I actually wasn't in until the United States Department of Agriculture actually updated their plant zone list. Was it this year? I think it was either this year or last year when they did it. So, yeah, I'm in a slightly warmer climatic region, and it is, yeah, it's actually November 16th, so I can say now that it's mid-November, and I'm growing tomatoes. Like fresh tomatoes out of the garden. We live in some wild times, folks. It certainly, it has its pluses. One plus is this means I get to defer all my winter chores for the garden. Basically, I get to save them for another time, which I'm excited about that. But yeah. Because, well, if you've seen my social medias recently, you may have noticed that I am talking about wood a reasonable amount right now. Specifically, wood that is in my driveway and looks a lot like logs, because I do have logs in my driveway now. So, yeah, I actually got a log drop, well, a drop of logs from the wonderful service known as Chip Drop. And yeah, so that is currently going to be a big, so getting those logs split up is going to be a pretty big project for, honestly, probably the rest of November, I imagine. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be like a continuing I don't know how long this project is going to be, or if I'm going to just, like, get certain things cut up and just live with it. But, hello, Miss Kales. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm having a good weekend. On the subject of the logs for firewood I got, I actually got to use my chainsaw today. Which was fun, because I haven't actually got to spend some time with it in a while. Got a couple bell peppers here. Trying to figure out which one. I like this one. Actually, we'll do these two. This one we'll save for later. Okay. But yeah. I've got logs. I got to use chainsaw today, which is... makes me a happy person because, well, my chainsaw is a $600-ish tool, and it's really nice when I get to use it and get my monies out of it. Also, it was just real nice to use, and one of the things I was a little unsure of with it was I was a little unsure if the blade was sharp or not. But yeah, it's got the blade sharp. Well, the chainsaw chain sharp, which is with multiple blades. Actually, I want to get a little bit of this because I actually pulled these out of the garden a little while before stream. Oh man. There's definitely some food that's worth just getting it at the grocery. I'm actually trying to think of examples of stuff. I don't know. Bananas. I've had a lot of issues with growing blueberries, so I'll go ahead and throw blueberries into that category, but in terms of like flavor profile and stuff, homegrown peppers just beat store-bought like out of the park 10 times out of 10. Like it's actually really incredible how because like sweet peppers like this actually taste sweet, whereas the sweet peppers at the grocery store, they literally just taste not hot, which is fine depending on what you're going to use them in, because I mean if you're going to use them like in a stir fry where you kind of just want like you want more of the texture, but you're going to actually go in with like a lot of sauce and stuff as like additional flavoring, store-bought can be fine for that application. But for this, where we're going to be adding these to an relatively uncooked, relatively unseasoned dish, the humble taco, having a high quality bell pepper is actually, I think so. I don't know. I don't know what other people think. I've actually had, well, historically, I've had kind of mixed success with bell peppers, except this year. This year, I did really well. I am really happy with how well my bell peppers have performed this year. It is absolutely, I lost a piece. But yeah, like, I actually have a bell pepper plant that's, I don't know, it's like 3 feet tall and some change. Like, it's up to my waist. And as far as like bells of yay size, yeah, I've pulled at least a dozen bell peppers off of it, if not probably more. Like, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. No complaints. No complaints. Let's see here. I'm gonna want to dice up enough. Dang it, because if I'm going with lettuce, peppers, and tomatoes, and onions, which I've already got the onions pre-diced. I made stir fry. Well, stir fried? Just fried. Just fried potatoes earlier this week, and I diced up an onion for that, and I have leftover onion in my coolie box behind me. So, the onion's already diced. Onion's diced, ready to go. So, since I mean, I do have lids for the containers, but actually, you know what? I'm thinking about this hard. I should just go ahead and dice them. Go ahead and dice them. Granted, this I'm gonna snack on. Oh, man, absolutely incredible. Like I can definitely taste a flavor difference between homegrown and store-bought tomatoes, but like with peppers, it's so much more noticeable to me. So regardless of whatever I grow in the garden, I'll probably always be growing peppers. But I did kind of make sort of a mistake this year with my peppers. And the mistake was I grew too many of them. Granted, I probably planted over 24 plants, because I generally do lose plants, but I keep dropping peppers. But oh well. But yeah. And I did lose, I think over the course of the season, I lost at least 5 pepper plants, but I was drowning in peppers this year, which was kind of nice for when I did the when I made the salsa, because then I just had like all the peppers in the world for that. But for just like me, regular guy, eating on the reg, I've had to throw away a lot of food. And I don't like throwing away food. But I do think it's better to grow food on your own land and throw it away than to just not grow food in the first place. Is my thoughts on the matter. I'm very big on growing food at home. Or at least here in the US. Because a lot of our actual, like, what could potentially be good farmland is just used to grow lawns, and well, unless you're putting like sheeps or goats on those lawns really aren't making a lot of food, or any at all. So it's better to use some of, I personally think it's better to use some of that land to grow food, especially when it comes to like fresh veg like what I've got here, because the US doesn't grow a whole lot domestically. I'll set those there. So I got that diced. Oh, third vegetable for the evening, actually. There's meaning behind that aha, but boom. Lettuce. I eat really good veg. Granted, it's produced in the US. It is. It is. Produce of the USA. Which it should be produce of the USA because we're still in like the growing season. At least as far as like us in East Coast. Usually once winter hits and stuff, a lot of the produce in the US actually comes from Chile, and also Mexico. Mexico sends us a lot of veg, which personally I am definitely thankful for the veg we get from Mexico because for those who don't like keep track of like geopolitical stuff, early in the 90s there was early 90s or late 90s? I think NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, I'm pretty sure that was a... Yeah, that's plenty of lettuce for tonight. That is plenty of lettuce for tonight. It's in the bag. But yeah, getting back to NAFTA. When it was signed, it basically took down all the tariff trade barriers between Mexico, the US, and Canada. This created various things. This created various like incentives and things. Product of one of those incentives is the fact that my Toyota Corolla is manufactured in Canada. One of the downsides of NAFTA is corn is actually native to Mexico, and there's a rich corn farming tradition, history, what have you, down there. And a lot of the corn farming in Mexico is basically done on like small plots. It's not mechanized, it's not like mass produced agriculture like corn and soybeans is here in the US. So after NAFTA happened, really cheap US corn that was primarily produced thanks to mechanization, tractors, combines, harvesters, all that fun stuff, basically ended up flooding the Mexican market because the Mexican market lost their protective tariffs and put an absurd amount of farmers down there out of work because the farmers down there could not produce as cheaply as American farmers in the Midwest. But yeah, that's actually a fair amount of less. Earlier I was thinking that might be a little not enough, but that's actually going to be plenty. That's plenty. But yeah. So I do think it's a good thing if some of those people who lost their jobs to that were able to find jobs producing other veg for consumption. It's trade's one of those weird things. It's weird, it's interesting, and it's probably beyond the purview of an anime person on the internet to talk about. So we got this. I've talked about plenty of times before. I can't really have stuff here, so I'm gonna have to set it down here. Keep forgetting that I need to make like some sort of like heat shield for like right here. But yeah, let's see. With the lettuce, tomatoes, we are done with cutting veg. Okay. So as far as next step, the prep, grab a spatula, grab a pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my pan over the fire. Actually, nope. Order of operations. This is gonna be like a chill, relaxed cooking stream, and in that theming, beer will be consumed. Wonderful local craft beer. Cheers. Okay. This because of course I did. Oh, gonna be working with Angus beef. This is the 15% fat. I was actually kind of debating between some of the ones that I would have wanted for this, and I eventually got to the point where it's like, dude, buddy, if you're debating this much about the beef you're going to use, just grab the beef that is in your hand right now and take it home. It matters, but it doesn't matter a lot. Yep. So we got 1 pound of ground beef that we're gonna cook and season. Good old Angus. And actually, speaking about like farming and like food production and stuff, like I actually have a cousin of mine. He raises feeder cattle on his farm that he has. So this slide. So we'll throw that beef on there. We'll start letting it brown, cook, all that fun stuff. The legend of seasonings from this on this channel. Taco seasoning. Got that. We've got water. Well, there's a vessel for water. Maybe things that I sent them over here. That's why I couldn't find them. Knife can go away, because also this can go away. I do make something of an attempt to have an uncluttered workspace. I try. Successful. Come here, you. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. And it's sizzling quite nicely, too. So, looks like getting the fire started before stream was a good idea. So, got that. I'm gonna eventually... I'm also gonna be mixing beans into this. Let's see, I'm probably just gonna go for a cup of water. So for 1 pound ground beef, it recommends 3/4 of a cup. I'm gonna be leaning a little bit on the heavy side because next ingredient, I will be adding some black beans to the beef because that's something I like to do with my beef. I like to add beans to it. And what it does is it basically kind of helps you get a little bit more mileage out of your beef when you add beans to it. Hey, heat's good. Okay, so I have my water prepared for seasoning. I now need to prepare seasoning. So, for 1 pound ground beef, my container calls for 3 tablespoons. I'm probably going to do 4 and some change because I'm adding black beans to it. And black beans is also like a whole pound of stuff because I wish for it to be well seasoned. That's going to be 4 and some change of the taco seasoning. This is why I like making tacos. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy. Just give this a bit of a stir because I don't want it to burn. And that's one of the good things about 15% fat is I think it is almost the ideal amount of fat. Skillet seems a little cool. Ooh, I have a solution for that. I can just put on over. I can also adjust my grill grate a little bit. Let's see if I can get the right spot. There we go. There we go. So we're getting a little bit more of heat going. Pretty good. Not too warm, not too hot. Overall, just right. Which, I have said it before, I will say it again. I am very impressed with how well I've been able to consistently get... How's your day? Day's been great. I mentioned earlier I did some chainsaw work. Also, I fired up my chainsaw, so I get a little nervous if it sits for a while. And it's been sitting for probably half a year, and it actually fired up pretty quickly and easily. So it was like, yay! Chainsaw works. It's good. It does the things I needed to do. Yes, it's great. That was that was more of an evening activity for today. And then this morning, I went to one of my local parks, and well, I say park, but it's kind of almost a bit of a misnomer because it's a very big park. We basically so we've been working over the past year on expanding the trail system out there. And we basically kind of sort of officially opened up almost 2 miles of trail out there. We did a fair bit of like actual like work. Sorry that. Because there was a lot of like nitpicky type work that we had to do. We had to do some deberming. There were some areas where water was starting to pool where we didn't want it, so we had to just basically cut areas into the side of the trail so that way the water can drain properly. No big work, real simple, real straightforward stuff, and just doing last minute adjustments. And that was like kind of like the first activity this morning. It was great. And then after that, I treated myself to a Dairy Queen Blizzard because the local Dairy Queen, they actually sponsored the trail program. Well, they actually just help support the volunteer program out there. And one of the things they do as a part of that is they give us coupons. Granted, they're out, but because going to Dairy Queen after doing work is just kind of like a normal thing for me, I went out there and got a Blizzard anyway. And I got the Reese's Pieces with cookie dough, which normally I absolutely love both of those things, especially Reese's Pieces. Those are my favorite candy of all time. And I was actually really excited when I first saw that they came out with that Blizzard. But I don't know if it was because it was combined with the cookie dough or something, but it just kind of had like a ever so slightly weird taste to it. Just like, man, I was kind of hoping this would be like the best thing ever. It's good. I like it, but it's not the best thing ever. So it was pretty all right. Went to a birthday thing today, and now I gotta find what hair color style I'm gonna do because my sis and cousin are gonna cut and dye my hair this Friday. Okay, cool. Sounds fun. I actually am getting really close to desperately needing to cut my hair. I actually got a little aggressive with my shampoo in the shower earlier this week, and I actually managed to make a small cut on myself with my hair, which I was like, okay, this has never happened before, but also probably a sign that I need to fix the problem that's on my head. So I'll probably do that Sunday afternoon. Well, not like immediately after stream, but at some point after stream. So, okay, so ground beef is nearly fully browned up. We still got some pinkish bits here and there, which is fine. I'm gonna grab a fork of noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna add my beans. I'm gonna add my water. I'm gonna add my seasoning. This is why I grabbed the fork, because it's being a little... Need some convincing. Actually, that's not too bad. Actually, I'm going to pour a little bit of my water into my can, and I'm going to give it a swirl. And this is usually what I do to get, like, the remainder of the beans out of the... There we go! The beans are out. So that goes off to the side. So I don't have to worry about it, and then a bit of a quick stir. Also, I moved my fire pit around, and My fire pit is also definitely not level. I thought I leveled it okayishly, but the side closest to me is definitely tipped down a bit. Tacos. And add the rest of the. That's gonna be. That's. Ooh. Okay, you're not gonna make your presence. Everyone. Okay. Oh, I got a glimpse of you. So, there's a black and white neighborhood cat that runs through my yard all the time. I don't know who the cat belongs to, but the cat belongs to someone because the cat is actually collared. And I heard the bell in the collar and was just like, wait. Oh, neighborhood kitty's around. Where's the neighborhood kitty at? And I managed to catch just a brief glimpse of the kitty. Well, it's actually a proper cat now. It's not like a small kitty anymore. Granted, I think I actually remember when it was a small kitty. Definitely thinking upping the heat here. So, give my coals a bit of a stir. Trying to get a little bit more heat going here. Wouldn't mind adding a piece of wood, but get to it. So I'm gonna kind of do a thing here. Ooh. Oh hell yeah! Ooh. Got a little close. Fine. Okay, so got a little piece of wood in there. Catch fire shortly. And we get a pretty good amount of heat going. Because typically when I add the water and the beans and stuff, I usually get a pretty quick heat up. If I'm using like an electric stove, like an actual proper stove. I'm trying to think how many times I've made taco seasoned ground beef, because I did it for the Straw Hats, I did it for taco soup, I did it for spaghetti with meat sauce, and I'm doing it here now. So this is at least the 4th time. I've got another chunk of wood, and I'm actually going to go around to the other side. Because I do want to actually up the heat a little bit more than I'm getting off the fire, because today is nice because the weather I'm having right now is actually really comfy weather for this. First time I did one of these campfire cooking streams, it was definitely on the warm side of things to be doing that. And now here today, it's in the 50s. It's really nice. This is great weather for it. No complaint. It is lovely. So I'll be giving it stirs every so often. Yeah, once we get... Oh, we're going to get the ground beef cooked. And basically let all this water that's been added boil off a little bit. Also going to be doing a bit of a turning of the pan, kind of help distribute that heat a little bit. And I have barely had any of my beer, so I'm going to be working on that. But yeah. So I'm going to get a plate ready. I have one other It's way behind me. Here you are. Ah, whoopsies. So this is the... Oh. Hey, Sugi, stop dropping things. You're scaring yourself. But yeah, this is the frying pan from roasting chestnuts and quesadillas. So we're going to be using... Tonight's tacos are going to be soft shell, because I have these, and I am... Personally, I like crunchy tacos. Crunchy tacos are great. They're probably my top taco. I mean, the thing I like the most. But when I was buying ingredients for both this stream and tomorrow's stream, I was literally in the parking lot of my supermarket, walking away, and then just went, oh, I didn't buy any taco shells that I wanted to buy. And then I was like, do I want to go back into the store? It was like, nah, I don't want to go back into the store. I have tortilla shells at home. I'll just use those. And that's what I did. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I have those. The reason I got out the other frying pan is I'm gonna pre-warm pre-cook the tortillas a little bit over the fire before I actually like eat them. Well, before I actually like make the top. But yeah, man, this is actually gonna be like from like start to like finish is gonna be real quick. Granted, it also really helps with the having the fire pre-made. Having the fire pre-made is definitely a really big boon and accelerant. I don't know, man. I want to do it for, because tomorrow we're making pizza dough from scratch, and making pizza dough from scratch is probably it's gonna take at least an hour. So I don't know if I'll be able to get a fire started, manage pizza dough, keep fire going. I don't know. Because if I already have coals like this, all I gotta do is just keep throwing pieces of wood on it and it's good to go. It does its thing. But yeah. So, Brandon, speaking of streams, content, stuff to do, next week is definitely going to be a lot more firewood themed. Well, wood themed. So, because I got all these logs, they are going to allow me to do two things I've been wanting to do for a while. One is a firewood stream. Well, splitting firewood. It's gonna kind of be like in terms of vibe, it's gonna be like my yapping and sawdust streams, but it's gonna be a little bit more action heavy because we're gonna be taking big pieces of wood and turning them into little pieces of wood. I'm expecting it to be fun. I'm gonna have fun doing it, and it's actually something I've been wanting to do for a little while, so it's kind of a reason why I was really glad to have these logs dropped off, even though they are a little bit problematic in numerous ways. So the most noticeable way that they were problematic was the fact that all of the logs were covered in what I am fairly certain poison ivy vines, which I have mostly depoison ivied them so far. At least the sides of the logs I can get to. Because the logs are kind of in a pile. There's parts and stuff. And some of them are also really big and heavy to roll, so it's gonna be a little bit of work of getting everything off, but I got the probably easily like 70-80% of the poison ivy off. No big deal. No big deal. Nothing hard to do. But okay, so that was the first hard thing. Second hard thing is some of the logs are hollow. And basically the heartwood and certain areas of this tree rotted out. Probably the reason why the arborist was taking it down is that it was structurally compromised. I have to because basically when a tree starts to rot, it basically ends up with this very pseudo soil like substance inside of it. I have that in the hollows of this log. And ideally, I need to get that out because anything soil-like is just absolutely dirt's terrible for chainsaw blades. Like, really terrible for chainsaw blades. Like, if you so much as, like, hit, like, a little bit of dirt. Hey, go away, Cable. A little bit of dirt with your chainsaw blade, guess what? You get to stop chainsawing, and then you get to go sharpen the chainsaw blade. It is atrociously bad, so I have to kind of, like, manage... I'm gonna have to manage that while I'm cutting these logs up. And also this was a reasonably short tree, at least as far as like the main stem. So I'm gonna have a lot of areas on this tree where there's gonna be like big branches intersecting the main trunk. In a lot of those areas, I'm probably gonna have to just cut up with a chainsaw. Because you have main trunk, you have reasonably large branch, like a branch that's like 1/3 the diameter of the main trunk. You're gonna end up with a lot of like tightly intergrained wood that is just an absolute pain. The biggest pain in the world. Split. It is atrocious. I don't like it. I mean, I can just take those sections and slice them up with the chainsaw. It's a little bit more chainsaw work. And because of the curve of the chainsaw, I kind of lose a bit more wood versus if I just split it. Again, it is not ideal, but I can make it work. No big deal. So, yeah. Oh, other thing. So, there's going to be firewood splitting next week. I'm going to think hard about this next one because I definitely want to make sure I'm doing things safely, make sure I don't do anything terribly yabai or what have you. But I do want to do a chainsaw stream, and it's going to basically be like talking about a chainsaw, how to take care of a chainsaw, the anatomy of a chainsaw, going all through Chainsaw Kun, and then actually using Chainsaw Kun for a little bit and doing some cuts and stuff. I'm not gonna... It's definitely not... It's not gonna be like about taking down trees because... Yeah, my shop does not have the room to have fully sized tree, and also I don't have much experience with just felling trees. All my chainsaw experience work has been with like logs down on the ground, so felling trees is a completely different animal than that. So I do wish to make that abundantly clear when I get into that. Granted, this beef is really starting to look really good and done. I'm not 100%, but we're really getting there. We're really getting there. We don't have a whole lot longer to go, so I am going to go ahead and start actually moving a little bit of firewood away to kind of cool this area down a little bit, because basically what I'm gonna want this area to be is just a keep warm area. Just, hey, keep this warm. That's all I need. And I don't need to be like actively cooking right. Ooh, okay. Actually, I'm gonna have some water now. That was a lot of yapping. But yeah, life's good. Life's really good. No complaints. Well, I mean, I did pay my property taxes this week. Actually, yesterday I sent that in. Yeah. So that is one less worry, and also the biggest bill I have to deal with in the year. So it's done. I don't have to worry about it. Well, it's done once the check clears. Once the check clears, I don't have to worry about property taxes. So, which is going to be great. I know I should probably be doing things through an escrow account, but because I get my homeowner's insurance through Costco, my homeowner's insurance is like really cheap. Like below $900 to $800, so I just kind of just pay things out of pocket as I go, and that's on an annual basis, not monthly. Oh god, oh gosh, that'd be far too expensive. Oh yeah, do have. I think we're gonna get our first freeze on the horizon here soon. I don't know how long I don't know when it's gonna get here. I think it's sometime maybe next week, late next week. Oh, I do. So once it happens, once it basically kills my plans, which kind of weird that I'm looking forward to that. This means I can actually work on like preparing my raised beds for winter, which I do want to do like a video on at some point. Granted, speaking of videos, I still have to make a video for the EPA woodshed build. I'm gonna work on it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Because life and me having a very procrastinatory nature. Oh. I am calling ground beef done. I didn't know if it was going to be too hot. I'm going to kind of shove that log over, so there's no basically active coals underneath the ground beef. So I kind of have the ground beef a little bit more in the picture. It'd be nice. It'll be nice. So for the next step, go ahead and set that there for a little bit, and I will grab a taco shell, and we'll start making tacos. And it's only an hour in. Normally, I'd still have like a whole ton of prep left, but this, I don't know. I'll probably munch on this taco and yap for a little bit, but yeah, this is kind of going to be a short and sweet stream. And also, I'm still sipping on this. I should pull a lot more brewskis out. Well, I've got 5 in the cooler. Granted, 2 are non-alcoholic, because I do like my non-alcoholic beer, because it's like, yay, it tastes like beer, but it doesn't have the bad stuff. It's great. It's great. I love it. Granted, I also like the regular stuff too, because hey, that's what I first started drinking. My first preference, but I think one of the I'm gonna hit a really big milestone for myself going into next year as far as age. And well, the milestone is I'm gonna officially be halfway through my 30s next year. Well, yeah, next year. And I'm definitely at the point where I'm beginning to rethink my relationship with this beverage. It's great. I like it. I haven't had the worst experiences with it. But I'm getting up in age. It's I'm not a young man anymore. Is basically the reality I have. I am not the youngster I once was. Which is nice because, hey, not as dumb. That's a good thing. Definitely a little bit more. Definitely I've gotten... I would like to think I've gotten a little bit wiser with age. I still feel like I have a lot of growth ahead of me as a person, though. Granted, even being in my, like, mid-30s, there's sometimes I look back and be like, wait, I'm an adult? This actually happened? Who approved this? And it's like, yeah, dude, you pay property taxes. Paid property taxes for years. Oh. Wow. The joys of being alive. Let's turn our... Oh, man. That is not cooking like I want. Or at least it's gonna... It looks like it's gonna take its time. Which is fine, too. I'm fine with that. I just kind of want to, like, toast it a little bit. I think it will help give it that little extra pizzazz. Ooh. Goodness. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to cook, I'm just gonna, like, sip beer and occasionally talk about things that come into my head. Whatever. Granted, it's actually real nice to actually be hitting proper, like, fall weather. Ooh, also, relating to stuff for the channel, is the next big build that I'm planning. It's still currently in the planning stages, but the week after next is probably when I'll start that. And the next big woodworking project I have is I want to make a headboard for my bed, because I don't have a headboard. And there's definitely times where I just bang my head into the wall at night, and it would be nice to not do that. So I need to make a headboard, and that's what I want to do. I actually want to use the best fresh lumber I have, so, and that's, I want to use it, which makes it a constraint, because I have found some really good build plans, but they call for, like, actual, like, more normal size lumber that you would get at the hardware store. Ooh, okay, that might have cooked a little bit too much. I'm just gonna let that cook for a little bit on the other side. Man, it's probably really good, though. Ooh, yeah. I know what I'm gonna do. So, I'm gonna get another one ready. And what I'm gonna do is, after that one's done cooking, I'm gonna cook this one. And then I'll basically have 2 tacos on my plate. Normally, I don't like having a full plate, but if it's full of tacos, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I am not... Let's cook for... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's warm. I hope it's not very brittle. I'll let that cool down. Then we'll throw the next one on. Okay, so we got that big woodworking project coming up. Well, we're still a little ways away from like towards the end of the year, but I either towards the end of the year or early next year, I would like to do a garden planning stream because hey, I like to garden, and this is a channel where I VTube my slow life hobbies in my 30s. I may have gotten a little too stiff for a soft taco. Oh yeah, I got a little too stiff for a soft taco. I'm gonna have to take it easy with the second one. Granted, this has gotten to the point where I can actually handle it, though. Ooh, it's crispy. How is it? Ooh, the crispy bits are good. Okay, I'm seeing something rising. Oh, I am glad I flipped that when I did. Oh, I am definitely overcooking my shells. Not by a lot, but by an amount that is not ideal, as some people would say. Great, I'm going to be watching that for a bit, because I think I'm just going to let the other side cook for a minute, and I'm calling it done. And then I'm going to start plating up, and then I'm going to do a very terrible streamer thing to do, and that is stuff my face on stream. And yep, there we go. Yay! We have 2 roasted shells. Oh yeah, this one's actually got a lot more of the flexibility. Sweet, sweet. I love it. Ah, that like roasted tortilla smell is. Oh, I love it. Granted, I know I say I love it when anything good happens. Hey, when food you cook turns out good, be proud of it. Own it. And I'm actually a little bit hungry because actually, as I mentioned earlier, I just had itch. I'm gonna set it off to the side because I may or may not use that later. I don't know if I'll. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna eat both tacos on stream, but I'm gonna at least. I am gonna eat a taco on stream because hey, this is a gorilla. This is impromptu. Impromptu and fun. A little bit extra. A little bit extra. Don't go too much. Because we want the beef to work in harmony with our other ingredients. So, ingredient number 1. The great, the mighty, the one I cannot talk about enough. The glorious onion. So. And I'm gonna go pretty light. The onion. Honestly, I'm gonna go light with a lot of my veg because I'm using a lot of veg. I use onion, I'm gonna lettuce and pepper. You guys better believe I'm finishing this stuff with a heaping amount of cheese. Well, maybe not heaping, but a fair amount of cheese. Got a little bit of lettuce in there. I'm gonna keep pinching additional little bits of lettuce into it because next is the peppers. Sweet peppers, by the way. I can appreciate a hot pepper, but my DNA does not predispose me to enjoying hot peppers. Unfortunately. Then we'll hit it with the tomato. garden fresh, by the way. Bloop. Oh, man. The cheese. The glorious Kirtland brand. Oh. Please excuse me. I gotta grab a screenshot of this. Because I do wish to tell the internet a lot about how I feel about Costco. And how I feel about their cheese. And their cheese is good. It is definitely good enough to... So this cheese was frozen this morning. It no longer is. And it's great. So for now, I'm gonna just hit my tacos with just that. And with that, I will grab my thumbnail for this video after the stream's over. Because it's actually a thing I like to do for like the cooking streams, is I just grab a screenshot from a past cooking stream and I just throw it in there as like a placeholder, and then I cook the food, and then a screenshot of like me with the food is then the thumbnail for the thing. Granted, I definitely am not the most talented person at YouTube. I will never be, which is fine. But I will have fun with it. Which, I mean, hey, I got 2 tacos in front of me. And beer. Like, this is best life living right here. Ooh, actually, okay. I have... Please excuse me. Or I have just achieved, well, it is big brain idea for me. Not sure how it's going to make somebody feel. I'm just going to move my cooking grate over. That lets me get my like beef, beans, my wonderful taco season mix off the thing, and then that keeps it like from like burning or anything. Like, as I have previously stated, I'm gonna actually take a minute to actually enjoy tonight's food, because hey, it's my channel. I can do what I want. I'm not beholden to anyone. I'm not a corporate VTuber. I am just a rinky-dinky indie. And honestly, I would not have it any other way. So, here we go. We have big, admittedly thick taco. Let's, actually, I think I'm gonna... The stream ending soon? I think I'm probably gonna actually eat the... I'm not gonna end it, like, right now, but I'm actually gonna... I'm definitely gonna stick around for probably another half hour. I can definitely confirm a half hour. Oh my gosh. That's glorious. Oh my. Like, the intense, like, well, these are homegrown peppers, so the pepper, like, the pepper flavor really, really comes through with the crisp tortillas and the cheese and the beef, like, and just like a little bit of tomato for that acidic taste. Man. Do you did a good job taking care of yourself by being like, hey, you should make tacos tonight. Woo! But yeah, I'm probably just gonna eat this one I got, because I am hungry. And then I'm probably just going to kind of hang out for a little bit. Is the game plan. Because I don't mind doing like a super short stream, which I feel like that's fine, but on the other hand, I kind of just want to like hang out for a little bit. Maybe yap for a little bit. Because I'm almost done with my beer. Oh, man. If family text. Wait, what? No. Ah, okay. Probably should turn my phone off. Well, notifications off for a little while because I just got included in a group text about the family camping trip for next year. Because a family member was asking for the dates for it. Which I know... Okay, so I know where we're going to do the campsite. Which I'm not going to explicitly state on stream. But I actually don't know the dates for that family event, so I'm curious. My sister did message me right at stream start being like, hey, here's the Thanksgiving plans. And I was like, I am down for those Thanksgiving plans. Primarily for this Thanksgiving, the family's doing straw hats, which is like my favorite meal of all time. So, hey, we're doing straw hats for Christmas. Well, not Christmas, but Thanksgiving. Oh, yes, I am down for that. Okay. Have a good rest of your evening, Lillian. And yeah, have fun, take care, all that good stuff. As for me, I'm just gonna probably finish this taco and then yap for a little bit. Woo. Man, that shell falls apart. Made it a little too brittle. But goodness gracious, it's so good. It is so incredibly good. Wow. This was definitely a capital A good play for me. From me to me for taking care of myself. Good job, buddy. Man. I definitely went a little overboard with crisping the tortilla shells, but man, that crispy tortilla shell flavor is so good. It's so incredibly good. Ooh. alright, you're doing alright. Hell yeah. Taco seasoned beef is just chilling out. Staying warm, by the way. I got this here. It's basically preheated. Man. I'm just happy with this. I'm happy with the food I have. I'm happy how this turned out. Maybe a little bit, may have been a little bit shorter than what I would traditionally like. Pardon me. Woo. Because, well, I would prefer, at least for a short stream, to last an hour and a half. Granted, I'm gonna at least yap for a little while. Because, hey, just because the cooking's done doesn't mean the stream has to end. But, yeah, I was really debating what I wanted to do for this stream. Because I had a lot of ideas. Even watch another episode of Campfire cooking, which I've seen the whole series, but I'm rewatching this series to get content ideas. And they did, from the episode I saw, which introduced Sui, the slime character, they did do it wasn't gyudon, it wasn't the beef bowl, but it was like it was marinated orc meat on top of a bit of cabbage with rice in a bowl, which I'm gonna do a beef version at that at some point. I don't know. Don't ask me for the when I will do it, but I will do it. I will do a proper gyudon in reasonably into my taste. Which is also my way of telegraphing, hey, sorry everyone, I'm just not the biggest fan of eggs. So I'm not gonna do the egg. But there'll be beef, there'll be pickled ginger, there will be shredded cabbage, and of course there'll be rice. All that good stuff. And I'm finally finished with the beer. So, I'm gonna grab... I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to scratch the weeb neurons of my brain. Okari is seconds for food. So if I cleaned off my plate and wanted to fill it with more food, I'd say Okari, but I think beer is moi pie, I think. But hey, here, actually, wait, gotta get this. Ooh. Yeah. Sorry. I definitely want to get the screenshots for the social medias and also, hey, future thumbnails. And also just kind of like a aside, one of the best things you can do in the present is make sure you take care of future you, which actually... Oh, hey, that's actually hot. I almost set that down on top of my taco seasoning, which is plastic. That would not be good. So, going to do some adjusting. So the cooking's done. And we are now in the portion of the evening's festivities. Because it is reasonably chilly right now. Like, I was not kidding earlier when I was like, man, the weather has really turned, like, for the better. For this. Which is good. Really good. Like, it's actually real nice to be like, oh man, like, big flame makes big comfy. Hell yeah, I'm down for that. There we go. Excellent. Okay. That's good positioning. So, cheers. Man. Okay. Good, good, good. Not getting too smoked out. It's historically been an issue. Historically. I am kind of trying to take measures to manage the amount of smoke that infiltrates my home when I do these streams, but and I did do a little bit more today in that basically where this edge of my little cook table is, this is actually on the threshold to my garage. Historically, normally during a stream, it'll be like roundabouts here. If I keep that there, the heat off the fire might actually keep that warm. I'm going to see if that works. Granted, that's going to sit there until I end stream, because I did eat one taco on stream, but I'm not going to eat both tacos. I'm not going to lie, I'll probably have a third. Because, yeah, I'm definitely hungry enough for a third taco. But past that, that's probably all I'm going to do. I'll have this, probably a third, and then I'll be done so for tonight. Then I'll get cleaned up, do all that stuff, and hey, is there any prep I need to do for tomorrow? Because tomorrow's going to be really fun. Like, really, really fun. Granted, I do want that fire to fire up because woof. It's I am definitely wearing something that is closer to summer wear, and it is very fall right now. Well, actually, let me check my. Let me check a thing, and I will have a. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's why it feels chilly outside. It is in the upper 40s. Okay. Looking like, man, this feels a little cold for like 50s, mid 50s, and then I realized mid 50 degree Fahrenheit was supposed to be the high for today. Granted. My breath makes steam. Can't see it though, which is fine. Whatever. Man, this was a fun day. This was a real fun day. I had a good day. Did a whole bunch of things, and not gonna lie, one of the things that makes me like truly happy as a person are days where I do a whole bunch of things. Like, I do a little bit of this, which was tearing, and then I did a little bit of work around the homestead, which involved like working on some logs, doing some chainsaw work, which chainsaw work went really well. Really, the worst thing that happened is I had a log that I was cutting through, and it pinched the blade a little bit, which was fine because I was able to grab my rock bar, and then I basically got that out, and I lifted up on the log with my big steel bar, And I managed to free my chainsaw, and I finished cutting the log, all that good stuff. Ooh. Nothing hard to do. It's real fun. Another piece to the fire, actually. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that plate's warm. Not me though, but I'm also drinking cold beer, so better to be drinking cold beer than warm beer, hey? Ah, oh yeah. I guess I'll say, actually, nope. I'm gonna sit back a little bit in my chair. So, usually when I'm doing a lot of these streams is I'm actually sitting, like, on the edge of my chair, my campfire chair. So, I'm gonna just sit back and relax for a little bit while I just, drink beer. Just trying to drag stream out a little. I'm actually glancing up at the... It's... Ooh, wait. Ooh, the moon's almost full around here. Cool. Ooh. Apparently I don't have a lot of stars where I'm at. That sucks. I would certainly appreciate having more stars, but... There's a little too much of that light pollution where I'm at to have that, which is fine. Oh. But I'm also doing what I'm currently doing, just yapping while I'm staring at food I wish to. Is I do want to work on I like yapping and stuff. I have gotten into this fun, silly thing of VTubing. Partly because, one, I wanted to, and also, two, because my brain would not leave me alone. And the fact that my brain was like, hey, you should do this type of stuff. But hey, I'm doing it, I'm having fun with it. I am learning new recipes and having fun, and hopefully I make fun. Hopefully I make fun happen for other people. I'm not entirely sure if I'm quite the best entertainer yet, but I'm not gonna get there if I don't do anything. So, hey. Be here, drink my beer, yapping, having a little bit of fun, and then probably gonna, well, unless I end up with any really big trains of thought, I'll probably end 5-10 minutes, because this was just kind of meant to be like a, oh hey, oh hey everyone, I'm streaming, I'm making tacos. Oh, nothing spectacular, nothing grand, nothing. Just a guy hanging out around his fire pit, making some pretty chilled, pretty straightforward. Nothing that's much of a process. One thing I like with a lot of the more traditional, campfire cooking streams I do, is I really like enjoying the process. Do this thing, you prepare the sauce, you prepare these noodles like this, there's a process to it, and it's fun and it's enjoyable. But it's also fun to do what's been done here today, and that's just make a thing. Be like, hey, boom, it's easy, it's not hard, just do it. Just do it. Oh my goodness. And it's weird to be tired because I actually woke up I woke up before my alarm this morning. Granted, I kind of set my alarm a little bit. If I woke up when my alarm went off, I would have slept for like 8.5 hours. Which is a pretty good amount of sleep, I would say. I know some people more, some people want less. Oh yeah. I woke up before that. Felt like I had a reasonable amount of sleep, so I was a little surprised by that yawn right now, but hey. I'm definitely gonna get plenty of sleep before tomorrow and like the stuff I'm gonna be doing then. Yeah. It's like 8 o'clock while where I'm at, and I'm gonna have plenty of time post stream, finish my food, maybe make a little bit more because I'm definitely in a 3 taco mode. And I might make 4. I don't know. But I have what I have, and it's going to be enjoyable. I definitely did dice up plenty of peppers and onion. Well, peppers and tomatoes, which veggie pizza, or do I want to make a more like? No, I have tomato-based pasta sauce. Because I'm trying to think if a margarita's made with either a white sauce or an actual like standard pizza, like more of a, I guess a It is called margarita pasta sauce when it's just like standard like tomato-based sauce. Oh well. It's gonna be a veggie pizza tomorrow. Granted, the highlights is gonna be the dough. Because I'm gonna be adding honey and beer. Granted, not this one. So, since one of the roles of adding the beer to the dough help it rise easier, I'm actually gonna go with some homebrew, because my homebrew is going to have a lot more yeast in it. And that's going to help contribute more yeast to helping the dough rise, all that good stuff. Actually, I'm thinking of ideas for tomorrow. Something I should do is kind of have my water cup, have it sit here towards the edge and have it warm up, because you kind of want to use a very warmish water when you're like working with yeast. Just a bit of a pro tip. I think like most yeast you want to, oh gosh, what's a thought? Most yeast are usually wanting like 80 some odd degree water to up into the 90s. You want it to be like warm. Kind of having that water warm helps that yeast like really limber up and stretch and be like, oh yeah, we're yeast. We ferment stuff. And now we're gonna do some work. Okay. So, it's been an hour and a half. So, an hour and a half, and I am actually starting to get a little bit cold. I know I will not be cold tomorrow. So, this is Sugi Yamagama. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and I hope you're having a great day. Well, great evening, night, whatever. It's night here. And I also hope you have fun living out the best life you possibly can. Because, hey, that's what I'm here doing. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Okay. Bye-bye.